Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to Idea Diary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. Today, we were going to talk about oversharing versus highlighting. I sometimes get jealous of the younger generations that so easily just get online and share their almost entire existence just without. I wouldn't say they don't care. I would say there's no fear. And I really think that's actually cool, even though I come from the generation that we were told everything on the internet is forever, so don't put anything bad online, which I also agree with. But for me, it's a struggle to where I don't want to really share anything except for the highlights because I'm not like a down person. So it's really hard for me to share the things that are like a bummer. Bummers are a part of life, and bummers, when things take forever, it's a bummer, but you still like pull through it. When you're fulfilling your dreams, and dreams can take a month, and dreams can take 10 years, it's a bummer when they take longer than you want them to, but you just gotta push through it, and sometimes there's no reward for the things that you wanna do. You just have to do it anyway because it's inside you and it's part of who you are. I can give you a million examples of that, but I think we all kinda know sometimes you gotta do it anyway, no matter if it seems worth it or not. My struggle is with deciding what to highlight on social media, what to share, how to do it authentically without feeling cringy. But also, maybe the cringe is a part of the fear that's the good fear that you're supposed to like do the things that scare you the most. And if it doesn't scare you, maybe it's not all that challenging for you. I think we all like a challenge. I don't think we want to shy away from the things that are not easy. And even though things can appear easy, even the easiest things or people that do things effortlessly, sure, they can do those things effortlessly, whatever the thing is. However, they have things that they want that's actually hard for them. So it's just, what is your puzzle? What is your problem to solve? When it comes to social media, sometimes it's scary to share. Sometimes it feels weird. I do feel like we shouldn't be so anti sharing that we don't do it at all. So, where's the middle between oversharing, being annoying and cringy, and actually sharing? That's kind of what I'm going through right now. Obviously, privacy is a huge thing. I think I've got it in my brain to where I know how to like be private enough. I mean, if anyone wants to look anyone up, they can. That's weird. Unless you have everything like secretly, strategically placed in LLCs and different trust funds, you can be found somehow. So I think the privacy part is everyone just kind of does their best, making sure that we're private. The other thing is personal life stories. Normally, say at a job, you really don't want to share too much personal life stories at work. I think a lot of us in our 20s maybe learn that lesson where you think everyone at work is your friend. And it turns out some are your lifelong friends, and then some aren't. And embarrassing things end up like sticking with people's memories, bosses' memories that you kind of wish didn't. Kind of going with being against personal life sharing at work. I think if you have a business and you're using social media for your personal brand or your business, it also could be bad to overshare. I think there's a middle somewhere. It's like, where's the middle? I don't know if you know about the tragic story of who is it? The girl wash her face. I don't know why I can't think of it. It's super famous. Dave Hollis. And why am I not remembering her name? Here, quick Google search. Rachel Hollis. So Rachel Hollis and Dave Hollis. Rachel is an author who got famous from writing books, and her husband kind of got famous for being her husband. And then he ended up passing away with the phone in his hand on his chest, and he ended up, I guess, having a drug overdose, and they had gotten divorced, and his life kinda went downhill. They had some of that toxic positivity stuff where everything is like, "We have the best marriage ever, we're gonna teach everyone how to have a great marriage," and Rachel Hollis notoriously overshared. That was her brand. She overshared. She had like gross TMI. She told Oprah on, I don't know if it was on stage or just on an actual Oprah show. I can't remember when Oprah like quit having a show and what era Rachel Hollis would have been famous. Anyway, Rachel Hollis put all of their personal life into books, and on they got divorced. People got mad because they were having these conferences of how to have a great marriage. And then Dave Hollis went like crazy looking at comment section stuff about him and Reddits about him, and he couldn't handle the heat and tragically died. And it's like everyone knows everything about them. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that people don't know, and tragically, when they had a company, their employees didn't sign NDAs, and then their employees started to, like, write these fan fiction novels about working there, telling their story about seeing these 2, like, interact with each other as a husband and wife company. Even more information was leaked out. The stuff that they wanted to keep private, possibly. What was worth it? Obviously, if they would have just stayed private altogether, nothing would have been known, and their whole life would have had a different direction, but they decided to overshare, and this tragic outcome came to be. I don't know what's right, but it is something to worry about, I think. Don't share personal life, don't overshare at work, I think is a good thing to follow, and maybe not doing it online if you're trying to professionally be online and have a brand or a personal brand. I think not too much personal life, but where's the line? Because sometimes the personal life gets the attention, gets the sales, or whatever it is that people are doing. Try not to cry at work because for whatever reason, that's what people remember when you have like a bad day and you break down, even if you're like the most stellar, amazing employee that's ever happened. It's still, you just gotta like try to hold it in, try to keep it together. I guess it's a skill to have like the story that you want to tell in your mind. Because at the same time, you might have a story in your mind that you do wanna share, and you might share it if you're at a dinner table or at a bar or at a party, but, if you say it online, you might give too much information, and you actually might be telling someone else's story. In person, you might be talking to somebody who would never ever meet the people involved in your story that's relevant, but when you say it online, that could be forever, and that could be easily trackable about who you were talking about. Maybe not to the whole world, but maybe to, like, your small group of people that know you, and that might not be cool, and you might have intended to tell a story that was not very specific, but let out too much information and hurt someone's feelings, or someone figured out you were talking about them, and sometimes that's not good. I think that goes with, like, main character energy. Yes, I think we're all, like, our main characters. Live your life like it's the Matrix, and you can create anything you want, and no one should how people think about you shouldn't affect you actually going and doing something. However, don't have the main character energy where no one else's feelings matter. If a story is coming up, like, all the files that are coming in your mind, like, make the decision. Is what I'm about to say going to hurt anyone's feelings or tell someone else's story? And then change course if you feel like I'm going in some scary territory. Because there is something called a vulnerability hangover, which I've just heard today. And that comes with like oversharing. You think the next day, oh my God, what did I say? Why did I say it? And in some people's mind, they'll think of that time in 2012 where they said something where they overshared, and it just kind of keeps repeating in your mind. You're like, why did I do that? And that's like a vulnerability hangover, apparently. Some sort of therapist speak. I thought that was a funny term to recognize. I think that's a feeling where we may have like regrets for talking too much. Sometimes that comes with wine. how do we share the most perfect amount for us? That's just something I struggle with. I'd almost wish social media never existed and I would never have this, dilemma, but it does. And it's actually cool. I think for the younger generations where it comes more effortless, I think that we can learn something from that. And we can also be ourselves where it's like, no, I can't tell every single thing. I can't show every inch of my house. I can't show my dirty garage that it needs to be decluttered. And I can't show the whole world that. I'd rather like clean it first and then like show the highlight part. And that's just me. I'm tragically bright side person. I always like to like think about the positive of everything, and I'd rather show off things I've completed than share things that I feel crappy about and annoyed about. So that's just me, but maybe I'll change someday. There was one creator that I just wanted to point out. Her name's Cathrin Manning. Let me double check that. She has an interesting spelling of her name. Cathrin Manning. Cathrin Manning. And her channel, just if you have time, go watch her latest video, which is an unedited conversation about 2023. It's a lot. I don't wouldn't say like it's oversharing because it's actually entertaining, but it's kind of sad. It's very emotional, but I think overall she's showing that she's had a hard year and she's pulling her way out of it. She's, not letting the depression get to her. It's one of those creators where she is showing a lot, but you know what? I bet there's like a lot more to her life that she isn't showing. So it's like, I think she's a good example of maybe oversharing for some people, but also she is, I think, using personal brand and being just herself to create art. Whatever this is, whatever putting a camera on your face and editing it together, using your life as a backdrop and all that stuff. I mean, her videos look great. I think the pacing's pretty good. Like it's probably boring for some people, but as far as like the people who I can imagine watching it, I think it's like great pacing and just pretty cute. But it is a lot. You would be surprised of how much she's actually sharing, and I don't know, it made me think, like, it's making me push my own limits. I'm like, "Okay, what can I really share? Can I, like, not be embarrassed about and have fun creating?" So, maybe you're having the same problem. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to share that with you today, and I'll see you later. Bye.